My name is Noah, and I'm working on a Sonic fan game called Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit. On Twitter, I asked if you guys had any questions about it, and this is what you asked, so let's dive in. First question, are mid-bosses going to cycle between Knuckles and Fang, the Knack Sniper Weasel? Yes, they are actually. The Act 1 bosses will always be either Knuckles or Knack/Fang until we get to Tidal Plant Zone. Will be Knuckles in the submarine, which is a fight from the original game. And after that happens, something very interesting will appear, and more on that later. Are there plans to add a bit more length to the game with some original levels? So yes, there is, but it's going to be kind of small. It won't be as big as like Mania did with its several original levels. Think of it more like a one-act transition stage, kind of like Hidden Palace. Hidden Palace was only like one act, right? So it's that kind of thing. About halfway through the level, or halfway through the game, there's going to be a small little bonus level that serves as kind of a story transition. And one more, but I think we're going to talk about that here in a second. How hard was it to redesign a lot of the levels and come up with new ideas and gimmicks that make the level more fun? Yes. Coming up with levels that feel like Sonic is really hard. Other platformers have kind of the same level structure, but Sonic is super weird with its crazy ant hills and multiple paths and stuff. Honestly, the reason why I picked Triple Trouble to remake was because out of all of the 8-bit Game Gear games, it seemed like the one where the level design was as closest to Genesis Sonic, and so I was like, well, that'll be the easiest transition. And that turned out to not be true. It may be the easiest transition, but it's definitely not easy, I would say. I originally was just going to take the levels and just make the graphics look better, but that just doesn't work. The 8-bit games are not just less in their graphical footprint, they're less in variety and the amount of enemies and gimmicks that are in each stage. So I had to come up with new ones and sort of redo the layouts, but kind of keep the spirit of it so it feels faithful. That is probably the most challenging thing about it. I'm quite curious how you'll improve Robotnik Winter Zone. Well, that's funny you ask that. That's some of the things where I've had to come up with new ideas and new gimmicks. We got your zip lines, your candy canes, whatever these things are. There's all kinds of stuff that we're kind of trying out. The snowboard, I think, will be a little bit more of like a set piece, kind of like Ice Cap, as opposed to just something you get out of a monitor and then just fall off in 2 seconds. I also want to ask about your plan with Knuckles. Knuckles, I get a lot of questions about, because if this is taking place after Sonic 3, why is he evil again? There's actually a very good reason about that, and I'll probably make my own video for that. Are you planning on adding more elements from the Genesis games? Yes, I am, and that's kind of the trick. That kind of ties into that previous question about new gimmicks and stuff. I just played all the Genesis Sonic games back to back. Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Knuckles. Didn't do CD because I'm not doing time travel, but did all of those back to back just so I could sort of see the progression and see how it evolved. Kind of my thing is I want this to feel like, what if there was just one more Sonic game on the Genesis after Sonic and Knuckles? What would that have looked like? Where was the trajectory? And when you do them all back to back like that, you kind of see the progression from A to B to C to D. Because I'm nuts, I also wanted to, sort of transport myself into the 90s, because this would have been the game that would have come out in, say, 96 or something. So I would watch these commercial compilations they have on YouTube that's like 90s commercials. It's just like Nickelodeon commercials and common commercials you saw in the 90s. I would watch a set of those in between every zone that I completed in the games. And there was always bonus points when sometimes an actual Sega Genesis commercial would come on. So that really helped put me in sort of the mind space of that and like what would have happened at the time. A little nutty, but yeah, that's what you gotta do to make a good game. So there's usually the part at the end of the video where everyone says like, hey man, like and subscribe, yo. So I'm gonna do that in the middle because I still got you. I got your attention. Truth is, at this time, I really don't have any subscribers like at all because I barely post, but I want to change that. So if you want to see stuff, go ahead and please subscribe. It's not like it's any sort of long-term commitment. If I start posting stupid stuff and dank memes, you can just unsubscribe. It's not like you're locked in this thing forever, so. But I would appreciate that if you could do that. Post-completion, will you have a stage select similar to Sonic 3 or just straight playthrough each time, like Sonic 2? Definitely Sonic 3 style. It's not in any of the demos yet, but there will be a data select screen like Sonic 3. If you complete the game, you're going to get your option to select through on all the levels you want. Is Sonic Triple Trouble 16-bit? going to have its own Doomsday-style level if all 7 Chaos Emeralds are collected. That is the plan, yes. I guess that would count as one more kind of original level. And again, I want to do like something small because I don't want this game to come out in 2030. Do you have any intentions of post-games unlockable? Wow, I like how the game's not done yet. You guys are already asking what happens when you finish it. Yes, I do have some ideas for post-game unlockables that I'm looking into, but my main priority is just kind of finishing the main campaign, if you will. And then I want to see, based on, it's one of those things where it's like, I have this idea, but is it too ambitious? Is it going to be realistic? Let's kind of, if it works out, it's going to be really cool, but kind of have to see how it plays out, right? Any thoughts on adding bonus characters? Well, you remember that aforementioned bit about the, if I have time, I might sneak in a little something there? Thoughts on making a Knuckles side story, like Sonic 3 and Knuckles did? I'm sorry, who's Knuckles? Is Honey anywhere in the game? That's actually one of the bonus characters. I'm not even going to make that joke. That's mean. He's not in the game. I'm sorry. Will there be a Mac version or any other platform as well? That's another one I get a lot. Main focus right now is PC. The game will be done when I finish the PC version. If I want to look into ports after that, that is kind of a possibility. Android is one I get a lot of requests for a lot. Mac, I'm not too sure about, to be honest. To build on the Mac with Game Maker Studio, or I think kind of just to build on Mac in general, maybe somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of have to go through some official channels, and I don't know if that's the appropriate route with this, unofficial little fun, free, not-profit fan game, so not holding my breath on that one, but I want as many people to play it as possible, so I'll see what I can do. This is a fun one. Would you consider the Sonic Chaos remake to be in the same continuity as Triple Trouble? Obviously, mine takes place after Sonic 3. I don't know when theirs is supposed to take place. Maybe they're doing the same thing. It's certainly not something that, we've discussed or anything. Though I have talked to a couple of developers working on that game, and it's kind of funny because our respective games are similar. So we did run into sort of the same problems of how to translate certain things, and we kind of end up on a lot of the same solutions, and we've kind of shared that back and forth. So that's kind of cool. But yeah, I wouldn't consider it in the same continuity, but I mean, I guess anything's possible when you got a Phantom Ruby in the canon, right? Okay, so thank you very much for your questions. If you have not played the game yet, you can play it at Game Jolt in demo form at the time of this recording, and the link down below in the description. You can also follow me on Twitter at Noah in Copeland if you want to see some updates that I post occasionally on there. And I think that's about it. Y'all have a good day.